want to see my face.
Sorry.
I want to see my face.
Sorry.
How can I serve the people if I can't see my face? My face is the canvas on which I paint the painting that brings you delight or brings you aversion.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Oh, Lamb and Turtle's ready.
What?
With the jokes. Don't look.
Oh, okay. But I hope you will not read a joke before we consult the agenda and see if such reading is appropriate. We follow a strict code of ethics and honor here, friends, and order and decorum and strictness of...
Oh, yay. Twain and Whipple-Ann are here.
Hello, Twain and Whipple.
Hi, guys. We miss you.
We do. What country are you in right now? We don't even know. These are intercontinental, cross-country, traveling, globe-trotting people that we have here on this here stream today. Robbie,
all right.
Since I am no longer authorized to take up the agenda and read it and hold it properly...
Today, this is from the 26th. I need from the 27th.
You know what the problem is?
They printed out, and I took them out of the printer.
We've had a lot of shenanigans this morning.
So
this is
many
a word I
shenanigans.
want you guys to learn if you don't yet know it. Shenanigans means nonsense. It means hijinks. It means all sorts of rip-roaring trouble for us right now because we don't have an agenda to share with you guys. I do know one thing that we need to do at the start of the show that I wish Robbie were here for, but we're just going to launch into while she finds the agenda. The Robbie and Matthew Show. I almost can't hold my breath that long.
Do you know how many agendas we have here? That none of them are the right agenda.
So do I need to go print the agenda?
Go print the agenda.
Oh man, this is just poor. This is
printing.
poor planning. Is there paper in here? There's plenty of paper.
We need to add printing the agenda to our agenda. Sorry everyone. Oh, where's the chicken hat?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, we don't even have the chicken hat.
Robbie, tell jokes.
Okay. Well, there are some jokes. There are some jokes here, and I will speak them. I will tell them. Okay. What do you give a pig with a rash?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
A porcupine.
A porcupine? No.
Okay. A pork you itch.
I hope you guys didn't hear that. It didn't make sense. The answer is ointment.
Oh, that's very, very bad. Whoever said that deserves
All right,
some
you
applause.
might know this one. You might know this one from Conrad and Beckett. Why is 6 afraid of 7?
Why 6 already? Because 7, 8, 9.
Yes!
I remember the agenda well enough to know that what I want to do right now.
All right.
The glorious theme song was created by a man named Drew Bunting. Mm-hmm. He is a remarkable person.
Yes.
He does many things well, not the least of which is create songs. It's not the first song Drew has created for us before. When we ran Bobbledy Books, which was our small press devoted to publishing books like Tiny Mama, which we're going to read today, Drew wrote us a Bobbledy Books theme song.
Yes.
So for our exercise soundtrack today, we are going to play the Bobbledy Books song. You are going to listen to it. Your heart is going to fill with delight. Geysers of happiness will erupt from your ears and your elbows while we dance together. If that sounds upsetting to you, I'm afraid you're going to have to adjust.
I don't want any geysers.
Geysers.
Erupting.
On your marks, get set, Robbie, play Bobbledy by Drew Bunting. Go.
Oh, wrong one.
Oh, Robbie, that's a great song. That's not the song I asked for.
Sorry.
All right. Robbie's just teasing some of Drew's other cuts. All right, here we go. Dance, people, dance. Let your hair go. Let it thrash around. Don't knock your head into the coffee table. Hello, Abraham. It's Matthew. How are you? I admire your tall hat. I hope you people are dancing or leaping from the floor.
Yes. Ooh, key change.
Bobbity books. Bobbity books. Bobbity bobbity, sing it, friends. Oh, oh, bobbity books. Bobbity books. Oh, bobbity books.
How long is this song?
Bobbity books. This one is longer than 9 seconds long. But- How do you talk in a bobbly way, Robbie?
Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I knocked something over something.
It's a perfectly cromulent something, you guys.
Oh, that's a good word.
Now we're stuck in a big vat of jello in outer space. Is that the agenda?
Just take a chance, do a bubbly dance, and you'll bubble your troubles away.
This is better than exercise hour.
This is exercise hour. Drew, this song is too long. I don't think we're gonna make it. Oh.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
taking off my shirt. I'm apologizing, friends. Robbie,
We're both sweating.
I need to get an item for the next agenda item. So,
Oh
you
my
guys.
goodness. Oh.
Oh,
Ooh, I hope you guys were dancing.
a long time ago,
Yeah.
5 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that.
Ella's
we
all
made
match. We're supposed to read her a book.
we made this album with Drew. I Don't Want to Brush My Teeth, featuring the song I Don't Want to Brush My Teeth, among others.
It also had bobbly books on it.
Then we made a song, Where Is My Chicken? If you want to know where that chicken is, you got to listen to this. And then Jetpack, featuring also a couple of songs by Matthew Swanson and songs by Brian Francis Slattery, another great man. So, you guys, we're going to put the links to these. They're on Apple
yeah.
Music, they're on Spotify.
Yeah.
Such amazing songs by Drew, who wrote several theme songs for us. I hope you guys aren't as tired as we are. You are young and majestic, and we are
Yes.
old.
Justin was dancing.
and
Thank
creaking.
you, Justin.
Wow, I'm sweaty.
Ooh.
Let's move on. All right, I
Ella
think
says, "What has this show turned into?"
luckily you
You're
guys.
supposed to be reading me books.
Ella, are you feeling that we're not stimulating your intellect as
Yeah.
you had expected?
Well, there was a good word in there, cromulent. What does cromulent mean, Matthew?
I don't know what cromulent means. Someone who lives with Drew has to say what that means.
It means we looked it up.
One of the E's, please post what
Yes,
cromulent
what
means.
does cromulent
Ask
mean?
your dad, okay? We did all those things. We showed Drew's albums. We played Bobbly Book song and danced. We post a link to Drew's song on. Well, we will. We will do that at the end.
Yes.
Now, Robbie reads Tiny Mama.
Well,
you
back,
guys,
back to the regular order of business.
of all
Ella.
of the Bobbly Books we made, Tiny Mama might be the dearest to my heart. And I know
What did we
that
do with Tiny
a
Mama?
lot of our friends and fans are also Tiny Mama fans.
Yes.
I'm not going to do a lot of yapping about it. We're just going to read it to you.
Too late. You've
then we're
already
gonna-
done a lot of yapping.
And then we're going to
to.
make a craft that is perhaps our most beloved craft.
Yes.
That's a little foreshadowing and excitement building for you guys. Robbie, we better get right down to it.
We're
We
gonna
used
get
a
to it.
lot of our time dancing
Yes.
crazily. Oh, we just got a text
From our mail person.
from our postal carrier.
Yes.
All right, here you go.
She's the
That's the
best.
kind of town we live in. We're going to have a little bit of water because we're tired.
Wait.
Not on the agenda.
It's not on the
All
agenda?
right, here we go. Tiny Mama
You guys
by
drink your
Matthew
water.
Swanson and Robbie Bear. Tiny Mama. Tiny Mama.
Sorry.
20th Century Fox
All right,
present.
all right,
That's
all
not
right.
true. That's not true. Bobbly
I
Books
have
presents.
stopped shuffling that around the microphone. There we
You
go.
see how I just got yelled at again? You gotta stay on Robbie's good side, you guys. You're lucky that you're there. You're protected
And you jumped ahead a page.
by the miles in distance.
All right.
All right.
I have a tiny mama who I carry with me always. She fits inside my pocket with my marbles and my dimes. Tiny mama could lift a train. Tiny mama has an extra brain inside her normal one. Tiny mama knows tomorrow's weather and how to change the oil in our Toyota, and 12 plus 12 plus 12.
You guys.
36,
Wait.
says Tiny mama.
She does. She's right.
Oh,
She's right.
were you going to ask?
I was gonna ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything Tiny Mama knows, she learned from actual Mama, who is not so bad herself. But Tiny Mama is always there, even in the middle of the night. She tells me the truth, even when I do not want to hear it. She makes me do the right thing, even when I'd rather do the wrong one.
Sometimes you want to do the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tiny Mama makes kites fly higher, and bikes go faster, and shooting stars burn brighter. Somehow she makes ice cream sweeter, and leaf piles softer, and mittens so much warmer. I may be the shortest kid in my class, but Tiny Mama makes me tall. I may not be the strongest kid on the playground, but Tiny Mama makes me brave. Ella has her teddy bear. Benjamin has turtle dog. Jackson has invisible ostrich, or so he says. I have Tiny Mama. I tell you what, Tiny Mama does not like Trevor. When Trevor is not nice to Tiny Mama, I want to poke him in the eye.
Like this. Can I show them how it works?
No, don't poke me in the eye.
Sorry.
I'm not Trevor.
All right, fair enough.
But Tiny Mama reminds me of the golden rule.
Aha!
I should only do to Trevor what I want Trevor to do to me.
If I poke Robbie in the eye, it means I want her to poke me in the eye. And I don't want her to poke me in the eye. No.
And I do not want Trevor to poke me in the eye. One day I let Ella borrow Tiny Mama, and she gets 9 out of 10 on her spelling test. Even Tiny Mama has trouble with silent letters.
As do we all, my friends.
She spelled lamb wrong. She spelled it L-A-M instead of L-A-M-B.
Understandable mistake.
Exactly.
Who put a B at the end of the
That's
word
a
lamb?
nonsense word.
Silliness.
One night, actual Mama forgets to leave the nightlight on. Even Tiny Mama is sort of afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
I try to treat Trevor nice, but instead of being nice to me, he tries to feed Tiny Mama to Larry, the class bullfrog.
Not cool, Trevor. Not cool.
Look at all of Larry's little tiny teeth.
I do love that bullfrog.
That's a good bullfrog.
He's not evil. He's just hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to give Trevor a kick, but Tiny Mama says no. The golden rule isn't working, I say. Tiny Mama says not everyone follows the golden rule, but that I have to anyway.
What?
But, I say, but nothing, she says. One morning, Tiny Mama is not in her tiny bed. I look all over, but she is nowhere. Actual Mama suggests I look inside the dryer. Tiny Mama hates being entirely clean, so we go outside to get dirty. When Trevor throws Tiny Mama in the mud and stomps on her with his orange sneakers, Tiny Mama says it's okay to give him a kick. Really? I say. Really, Tiny Mama? What about the golden rule? Forget it, says Tiny Mama. Trevor has it coming. Okay, Tiny Mama, I say. You're the boss. I kick Trevor in the shin. Not so hard, but also not so soft. It feels fantastic. But Mrs. Jackson said it's not okay to kick Trevor no matter what. She says Tiny Mama was wrong about that. Actual Mama agrees with Mrs. Jackson. So does actual Papa. I ask Tiny Mama what went wrong. I tell her I'm a little disappointed in her. Tiny Mama tells me everybody makes mistakes sometimes. Actual Mama has a talk with Tiny Mama and me. She speaks louder than usual. I tell her that I'm sorry, that I really, really am. Actual Mama says that sorry's not enough sometimes, that I need to make things right. But how, I say. How, Tiny Mama? Tiny Mama reminds me that Trevor is sad. What would you want if you had just been kicked? She asks me. I know what I'd want. I have an idea. I tell it to Actual Mama. Actual Mama says it's the best idea she's heard in a long, long time. Everyone, and I mean everyone, needs a tiny mama. Aw, she packed up. She made a tiny mommy.
She did.
Trevor.
She made a tiny mama for Trevor, and
Yeah.
Trevor tries to pretend like it's not what he wants. Look at him in the upper right-hand corner. He's like, is anybody seeing me? I'm a big, tough guy. I don't need a tiny mama. And then he's like, oh, tiny mama, I really like you. And he puts tiny mama in his pocket. And hopefully, from now on, Trevor's going to be a little nicer. I didn't write the book that happens after this book, but my thought is that Trevor is reformed by this act of kindness.
We hope so.
You treat people kindly if you want them to treat you kindly, even if they haven't treated you kindly to begin with.
Yeah.
That's how you make things better
Yeah.
in the world, all right? Oh, That was a little bit of a
That was a
teaser.
little
There was no
teaser.
the
Yeah.
end in this one,
Oh,
Robbie.
there wasn't.
No.
You know what? We might have run out of pages in this book.
It's possible.
Because
we had to fit a
get
lot in.
straight to. You know, we had to get
Let's see what's
straight to
happening. Let's see. We're going to try Tiny Mama Kraft Overview. Okay, you guys. We have a craft with some degree of complexity. I hope that you have been heeding our warnings for the past couple of
Yes.
days and gathering about you 2 marbles and some rubber bands and some pieces of cloth of various sizes. If you don't have them, now is the time to look
2
at your
marbles.
parent, waggle your finger, and say, "Parent, go get those crafts." Except don't say it like that. Say, "Loving parent, dearest mother, dear father, grandmother, auntie and uncle, friend of mine across the way, say, friends, would you gather to here some materials for our craft?" If you say it like that, they'll probably look at you funny. I want to get the craft sheet back, Robbie.
Okay.
Mission control, please. All right, here we go. I'm going to read to you. Make your own Tiny Mama so you
Yes.
can have one to carry with you.
Yes.
It's not only possible, it's downright easy. Downright. I didn't mean to use that kind of language. Just gather the materials below and get to work. Chances are your actual mama or papa or grandma or sister or brother or teacher or friend or dentist will help. If your dentist is there and has access to the materials, ask him or her to provide them.
Yes.
Here's what you need. A circle of cloth. Stripes aren't required about, 10 inches across. Ooh, I've been leading you astray. I've been asking for 6 or 8.
Whatever.
Doesn't matter. Tiny Mamas are all different sizes. 2 marbles. Fine tip permanent marker. Another thing I didn't tell you needed. Small but sturdy rubber band. Just 1 rubber band, Robbie? And a strip of cloth about 10 inches long and 1/4 inch wide. Is this Tiny Mama just going to have a head and not a body? Okay.
No, I'm not sure. No, the rubber
Oh,
band
no,
goes
here it
around
comes.
her waist.
Okay, here goes.
okay.
Oh, because the strip
We
of cloth is the...
obviously
Okay.
haven't
We haven't done it in a while.
this in a while.
Step 1.
Yes.
Take your sheet of cloth and put it on the ground. I don't know. I can stop talking like that, right?
Yeah, you can.
Place one of the marbles on the center of the circle of cloth, okay? But have the nice side of the cloth facing down,
yes.
okay? Having the nice side, the side that you want to display at the conclusion of the crafting, all right? Now, pinch the cloth tightly around the marble. Twisting helps. We are making Tiny Mama's head, friends. We are making Tiny Mama's head, okay? Look at that. Give it a little twist. Now, tie the strip of cloth tightly around the base of the marble, making sure both ends are the same length. Having a friend here makes it a lot easier, okay? Ask your friend to do it. It's just like tying the knot for a shoe here, for a shoelace, okay? Going to give it a good yank. And now, in one swell foop, as someone would say, who says things wrong, you have a Tiny Mama with a head and arms all of a sudden. If Robbie had made the arms the same length, this Tiny Mama would be more symmetrical, so try to make the arms the same
But
length.
you can always cut off. You can always cut off a chunk of one arm.
I mean, Tiny Mama is already looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Is she complete? She is not complete, my friends. Here we go. Step 4. Place the other marble below the first.
You took
inside.
my other marble.
I did not do any such thing.
Oh, there it is.
Oh
Sorry.
my gosh. Did you see? I was accused of taking something just because my track record is poor. We're going to take the other marble. We're going to put it underneath the top marble. Kind of snowman style. Reverse snowman style. We're starting from the top, moving to the bottom. All right, we're going to put it in there. We're going to twist again. Pinch the cloth tightly around the second marble. Again, twisting helps. All right. Tightly, step 6, tightly wrap the rubber band below the second marble. Tightly. If it is loose, Tiny Mama's abdomen
Her
and
insides
entire
will fall
midsection
right
will
out.
fall out. She'll be embarrassed. She won't be able to eat chili. She won't be able to do sit-ups. We don't want any of these things. We want a stout, abdominally sufficient Tiny Mama.
Keep twisting that
Yes.
rubber band around
As many times as you can.
as many times as you
And
can.
if you get to the point where you can't and you think someone with larger hands might be helpful, ask that person to give you some assistance. I'm certain that he or she, whoever it is, will give you a hand. Robbie, have you done it? Have you made a Tiny Mama?
There's my Tiny Mama
Now, we
book.
have a little balancing to do. Tiny Mama's right arm and left arm are very different lengths.
going to-
Not that that's a problem. We're not judging her. We're just in search of symmetry. If you want symmetry, go for it. Now, friends, there is something else that you can do. If you see this little purple inset box, if you prefer that your Tiny Mama, Papa, Grandma, sister, etc. wear pants, cut up the middle of the skirt and the front and the back and wrap a rubber band around each ankle. And you can make legs instead of a skirt or dress for your tiny person, okay? So whatever type of person you want to make, whatever variety of outfit you want to make, this is your... But look, there's Tiny Mama.
Tiny Mama.
Okay.
But we gotta do the face, right? We gotta
we do.
draw a little face.
We
on
do
there.
need to do the face. Robbie, do you want a black Sharpie?
I have A skinny Sharpie
Oh,
pen.
skinny Sharpie, if you
which
have
is
it.
maybe
Try to
even
use a
better.
permanent marker here that's
Yes.
more of a marker than like a ballpoint pen.
Yeah.
Something that has some wet ink in it. If you don't have it right now, you can wait until afterward and go find it. We want to get this right because your tiny mama is going to live with you for the rest of your life. In your pocket, coming with you. I think the next item in the agenda is Matthew giving you some sage advice about craft like no tomorrow. Did we craft like no tomorrow? Did we craft like our lives depended on it? Did we craft like we believed that what we were doing had the kind of importance that ranks on par with the work of Nobel scientists? I think we did. Robbie, the tiny mom is...
I'm trying to...
Oh, it's so lovely. Look at Robbie's tiny mama. Look how much sass and attitude she
Now,
has.
you
I
could
like her little
make
tiny
an angry
face.
face on there if you wanted.
You
but...
can also make hair. Robbie, can you give
Oh.
her a little hairdo?
Little hairdo.
All right, here we go. You can make your tiny mama a tiny bonnet. Matthew Revere's care and feeding of tiny mamas. Taking care of tiny mamas is actually pretty easy. You don't need, they don't like carbohydrates, protein, sugars, complex or simple, no trans fats for tiny mama, no donuts, no lasagna. Tiny mamas have a very limited, if any dietary restrictions, needs
They need
at all.
love.
They need love. They don't need exercise. They need care. You can talk to your tiny mama. You can ask your tiny mama for advice. You can tell secrets to tiny mama. I guarantee tiny mama will not give up your secrets.
Give up your secrets.
If you need someone to pick you at dodgeball, she will pick you. If you need an ally for an adventure, take tiny mama with you. Tiny mama will not complain. Tiny mama will never judge you. Tiny mama loves you unconditionally. All right? Tiny mama is your pal. Take her with you wherever you go. Melissa says, we made a tiny mama before, but yours looks better. Welcome to the club, friend. Every time I try to make something with Robbie, I make something homely and insufficient, and Robbie's looks like a glittering jewel from a queen's tiara. We are making a tiny mama. I would be Ella if my mom did not take my dad's name.
But you are Ella.
You
Ella.
are
I
Ella.
don't know
You
what
are.
you're saying.
You guys have some great moves. We're dancing outside, watching you, and picnicking. All right, thanks, friends. Thank you. All right.
I added some hair to Tiny Mama.
Oh, look at that. So she has a tiny hairdo. Again, you don't need to take Tiny Mama to the salon, ever. You don't have to pay for the care and feeding of Tiny Mama. She is the ideal companion. I hope you guys have enjoyed making your Tiny Mamas. But here's the thing. We're not content to just know that you're making Tiny Mamas. We encourage you to share your Tiny Mamas with us. So we are going to do a post on the Facebook with this video link. I'm going to put some links to the Tiny Mama tutorial. I'm going to post a photograph of Robbie's Tiny Mama, but our Tiny Mama is lonely. She wants Tiny Mama community. She wants to know that there are others out there who share her specific gifts and acute challenges. There's certain things Tiny Mamas can't do.
Yeah.
Tiny Mamas don't go to college. Tiny Mamas do not ride helicopters. Well, they can ride them. They just don't pilot them, which
They could go to college.
They could
if you
go
go
to
college
college.
and you bring your Tiny Mama.
is true. They just probably aren't going to go on their own.
Yeah.
Friends, that's all that we had on the agenda. I thought making Tiny Mamas would take longer
It's
than
very
it did.
quick to make Tiny Mamas.
is.
In fact, we have some friends who have made hundreds of them because it's just a fun thing to do.
We have a friend named Emily who has
Yes.
created a Tiny Mama kit where
Yeah.
she has pre-cut pieces of fabric. She has a big jar of marbles. She has a bunch of rubber bands, and she has a jar of pens. So that when other children come over, she says, "Ho ho, would you like to make a Tiny Mama with us?" I think that's how she says it. She's had a Tiny Mama themed birthday party. Friends, please use the Tiny Mama making tutorial impulse, dream inside your heart to launch a Tiny Mama movement. Let's get Tiny Mamas where they're needed all over the heck of the place. Yeah.
Do we have... Oh, I want to point out some things about our book in the previous pages of the book.
Who's that?
Oh, that's our... This is our...
This is our bio for this
We
book.
could read the bio for this book.
Who we are. Matthew Swanson wrote the words for this book. Robbie Bear drew the pictures. Alden Swanson provides the wackadoodle inspiration. They live together with Alden's two noisy brothers and one blue dog in the hayloft of an old barn on the eastern shore of Maryland. So here we also just had the two childs. I don't think any of the Bobbledy books mentioned Jasper.
No.
Since
Jasper came after
yeah.
the Bobbledy books.
All right, we have 3 bios in this one. Why do we have 3?
Yes.
Let's start by reading you Alden's bio. Alden Swanson is a full-time kid. Oh, except they play off of each other. All right.
Yes.
Matthew is a writer and a dad who a long time ago had a little brown bear who was also a puppet named Cinnamon. Matthew loved Cinnamon until he was nappy and used as a sponge. Oh, it was as nappy as a used sponge. One day, Cinnamon got left at a rest stop. When he was found again, his fur was like new. It was a miracle. My parents sneakily acquired a new version of Cinnamon for me. I was not fooled.
You weren't?
I was not fooled.
You're so gullible. I'm surprised.
I think they said something like, oh, Cinnamon got a bath, or Cinnamon got a haircut, or something like that. I don't know.
But you weren't fooled?
I don't remember. My heart is still broken for some reason.
Yeah.
That could be it. Alden Swanson is a full-time kid who invented Tiny Mama as a prize in a box of cereal called Spooky Flakes. She has made no fewer than a dozen Tiny Mamas and a few Tiny Papas for her many friends and 2 brothers. Her best friend is a monkey named Monkey. I mean, sometimes you don't have to go out on a bender of imagination to name something.
Yeah.
This is a Robbie named Robbie.
Yeah.
I'm a Matthew named Matthew. Monkey's
Yeah.
a monkey named Monkey. So Alden had an assignment in 1st grade or something to design a cereal box.
Yeah.
That was the assignment. But Alden decided to add a prize inside the cereal box because she loved when there were prizes. And her prize was a little tiny, just a piece of paper.
Well, there were
right?
supposed to be certain things on the cereal box, and one of the things was hers was Spooky Flakes because it was around Halloween time.
Right.
And one was a maze. She made a maze through the dark, scary forest.
Right.
And what part of the thing was, you needed to have a Tiny Mama to keep you company in the spooky forest.
Okay.
And the Tiny Mama was the prize inside of
And
the
was
box.
it a little tiny cutout piece
It was
of
a
paper?
little tiny cutout.
I
of the
wish we
Tiny
still.
Mama.
So maybe
we
we
have
do
it.
some.
We have it
we have
somewhere.
the Tiny
Yeah.
Mama. So anyway, Tiny Mama's always been dear to us. Robbie, would you like me to read your bio, or would you
Sure.
like to? Okay. Robbie is an artist and a mom with a lifelong loyalties to the satiny trim of a yellow receiving blanket. Those are those soft blankets you get in the hospital when you have a baby. This dear friend, known as Nicey, sleeps by her side to this very day. Nicey
still
is
have
right
Nicey.
over there.
What am I going to do with Nicey? I'm not going to get rid of him.
No, Nicey is just.
Yeah.
I think if it came down to a choice between Matthew and Nicey,
I've known Nicey a lot longer.
I don't know how that would turn out.
Yeah.
Across 4 decades, Robbie has accumulated an army of soft and stuffed friends of every size, shape, and state of disrepair.
Yes.
If you go to Robbie's childhood bedroom 2 blocks away, there is a huge cabinet that is still overflowing with stuffed animals.
I will not let my parents get rid of them. I just don't have the heart.
She knows what all their names
Yeah,
are.
I tried to get rid of them once, and it was too heartbreaking. I couldn't do it.
Robbie has a lot of love inside her
I'm
heart.
one of those people who watches all of the Toy Story movies and cries like crazy.
Well, is there any person who doesn't? Is there any person? Raise your hand if you watch Toy Story any, especially 3, and didn't weep like
Just
waterworks
like
at the end.
crazy.
See how we're doing here. I think it is just about time to conclude. Do
I
we
wanted
have
to,
any
I wanted
parting?
to point out one thing about
Yes,
this
please.
book.
Yes.
Uh,
Those of you who know that Alden had something to do with its being written and who know Alden know that there's a certain likeness between Alden and the young protagonist of this book. It's not exactly autobiographical, but there is certainly some bang association happening. Yes, Robbie, what did you want to point out?
Trevor was not originally named Trevor.
No, and I was really mad. His name was Travis.
Yes.
And Robbie knew a Travis who she...
I still know a Travis who is the kindest, most lovely young man, and I just could not allow Matthew to name this child Travis.
For what it's worth, I think that's tomfoolery.
I also know a Trevor, but I knew the Trevor in high school.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a lovely man.
Don't we also
but he's
know
not
someone
read this book.
named Trevor Travis?
That's the Trevor I know from high school.
Okay, so
He's
there
a
you
chef now,
Oh, well, that's exciting.
and he's probably not reading Tiny
What
Mama,
sort of
so I think it's
chefing?
okay.
All right. Well,
I think it's okay.
for what it's worth, that was a concession I made out of the goodness of my heart,
You are such a
thinking
good man.
that Robbie is a ridiculous human being, but a compassionate one. And sometimes we do things for the compassionate that we would not do. If Robbie was surly, if her motives for not wanting him to be named Travis were not admirable,
You still would have done it.
I still would have done it because I'm still afraid of Robbie. You guys, I think it's time to
It's
say,
time to say goodbye.
not goodbye, but see you in a
See you
minute.
in a minute.
Come join us on the R&M
Yeah.
reading of the real
McCoys.
McCoys. We salute you, friends. And go listen to Drew Bunting's music. All 3 albums are amazing. He also has some stuff for adults. We're gonna give you some links so you can find it.
I'm still saluting you.
At the top of the next show, we're going to play my single favorite song for children that's ever been written. Okay? If that's not a teaser, I don't know what is.
Wow.
All right, we'll salute you.
All right. Adios.
Bye.